War stories. Let's find out what was the most fascinating place that you visited so far.
So I'm not that far into the game yet. I'm a good maybe 10 hours, and I've spent most of the time exploring that north side of the map up by Sanctuary because I have a completionist mentality. Like, I don't want to go anywhere near Diamond City until I basically know this whole surrounding area.
Oh, good luck.
So I found this like rock quarry type thing where you have to kind of like dive underwater and like tighten these, rotating sort of water tubes to kind of like alleviate pressure or whatever so that this guy can drain it. Yes, valve, whatever, I don't know. And I love that, like, I did the quest for him, and then after I completed it, I had to fight some crabs or whatever. But if you're on the way out, I was exploring some of the buses and stuff there, and there's a terminal where he has a log of his events, and one of the entries there says, like, I'm hearing weird noises from under the water. I definitely don't want to go in there. There's a monster in there. I'm going to get some other idiot to do it. And I was like, God, I was just that idiot. Like, that was my favorite moment so far. I was like, I should be more careful because people are out here to betray me.
Yeah.
You want to hear a secret, Sean?
No.
You should go back there when level 20.
So that's the other thing is you're not the first person to tell me to go back to that place periodically.
I think it'd be like level 20 or around there.
Right.
Just keep checking it periodically. Something might change in there.
Awesome.
Good.
I swam all the way down to the bottom when it was the quarry that was filled up too. So
I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Isn't that great?
You
How
haven't
you'd be
seen
like,
this quarry
I
yet?
just completely
it's
missed this
literally
whole
right
giant
next
thing.
to your starting area too. It's
No.
like quite literally one of the first places you can come across. But that is great about this game.
Yep.
What about you,
Depending on
Tal?
where you go.
Speaking of.
Oh man, I can't pick just one, Jared. One of my favorites, Vault 95, down to the southern part of the map, the
Don't do
southwestern part.
spoilers.
Don't do spoilers. This is what this is all about.
But
We're
the
talking
vaults
about.
are the best
We're
part.
talking about. Well, look. So each of the vaults have experiments, right? What I really loved about this vault, and I'm going to spoil it for you and you. What I really loved about this vault is this was the rehab vault. So when you get in there, you start finding, these references to exactly earmuffs, princess, little princess party with earmuffs. You start reading about in the terminals about how this vault was set up with a bunch of people who were addicted to chems, and you go up into the overseer's office, and everybody's sitting around in a circle like they're having their meetings, right? And one thing, like after you read that, you start noticing, man, there sure are a lot of coffee makers and coffee cups in this vault. The whole vault, coffee cups everywhere, and I just love that touch. that
so
this was
funny.
a rehab vault with and all they were doing was just drinking coffee the entire
That's
time.
a very minor spoiler there.
love
I'm
it.
okay with
Love
that.
it.
Thanks. That's fantastic. Yeah, all the coffee cups there. That is great. That's really fun.
Yeah, I just thought it was a great attention to detail. One more I'm going to say.
Okay,
a little
are you
detail.
spoiling anything?
And
No,
a
warn people.
little bit. In the Saugus Ironworks, which is near the Slog, which is one of my favorite settlements as well.
Yeah.
But Saugus Ironworks, where the Forged are set up, the Forged did this gang of people who like to use flamethrowers, right? And you find a terminal there, and you look through the terminal, and there's a bunch of names, right? And a bunch of the names are actually like G.I. Joe names, too, right? They have Duke, they have Ripcord,
Right.
they have a bunch of other G.I. Joe names,
Yeah, I
which
know
I
the
thought was a
place you're
really
talking
cool little feature. But you read through them, and it's things like, Duke, failed the first test, punishment, eaten by the Forged. You go down, Ripcord, cried during test 2, punishment. Eaten by the Forge, killed and eaten by the Forge. The last one that you get to is like all these names. One of them is Yamley at the very end. And you look at it, you're like, all these names, and you're like, Yamley? Well, that's a kind of a weird name to have in like, people like Duke and Ripcord and Flamer and, all this people. And you open up, Yamley, refuse to change name, punishment. Killed,
That's
eaten by the
adorable.
Forge, and
so
I
awesome.
love the tongue in cheek. I mean, that's what I've loved about Fallout since the first
Oh, that's
one.
what makes it work.
Is the tongue in cheek.
Vault Boy is kind of the visual expression of that entire attitude. Panning out from Vault Boy on that into that wasteland. It's great. Brendan, what about you?
I've been exploring my thing. So there's a lot of places to choose from. But I think recently I went to the General Atomics Galleria, which is kind of like on the north side of the map.
Oh, yeah.
Cool place.
And it's entirely run by robots, and it was never open to the public. It's kind of like a Tomorrowland kind of thing, where like all the stores, like department stores, a bowling alley, a diner, all run by Mr. Hanties and Mr. Gutsy's. And you go in there, and like the greeter's like, "Oh, you're the new supervisor. Welcome." And it's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm supervisor guy." It's like, "Yeah, I should go look around, and then report to the overseer up top." Like this like crazy Mr. Gutsy who's like screaming like the robot's like, "Do your work and look out for communists." So I was like, this seems kind of nice. So I go into the diner, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you want to sit down and have something to eat?" I'm like, "Okay." There's a lot of skeletons in here. They're like, "Oh yeah, they never leave. We have such good customers." So like I sit down at a table, and he's like, "So how shall I serve you? Boiled, charbroiled, plain?" I'm like, flame. He's like, okay, I'm gonna serve you like flame broiled. Like, wait, what? And my character's the same thing, and he just lights me on fire.
That's so awesome.
Every store there is malfunctioning with like lethal protocols, and if you do like the wrong thing, they'll all start freaking out and trying to kill you. Like I go to the bowling alley, and they're like, oh, hey, thanks for coming. It costs some money to get in here, but you can stay in the lobby. It's like, okay, how much does it cost to play? Like $5,000. I'm like, I have caps. He's like, caps? What are you talking about? No, $5,000. I'm like, okay, sure, crazy guy. So I start walking. They're like, you trespass. And I'll kill him.
So, I wonder, can you use pre-war money to get by that then?
I actually have like 400, but 5,000. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And like I loved how every little section you went to,
You should see. We should try that with some of the PC stuff and just spawn some pre-war money and see how it works.
And there's a coffee shop, and as you get in there, you can see like there's these like gas waves everywhere. So he was like, hey, do you want a cup of bright hot coffee? I'm like, isn't there a gas leak? Yeah, I sent in a work order about 20 years ago. Still hasn't fixed yet. So how about that hot cup of coffee? I'm like,
Yeah, that's great.
And it's like hilarious because I think there's a way to like reset the whole park.
Yeah.
But you have to like find like the key code. And if you talk to the Mr. Gutsy in this giant tower, he's like, oh, where's your ID code? If you're the new supervisor, I'm like, I lost it. You're a communist. And he just lights you on fire.
Go ahead.
So now you gotta find the code.
See, I think
I don't know where it is.
I think since it's General Atomics Galleria, if I went to the General Atomics HQ, they probably have some there.
Probably.
Makes sense.
What about you, Sean?
What?
For war stories. So just something, favorite place you visited.
This isn't my story, but Justin Davis was telling me something that I thought was really, really interesting. Preston Garvey, the leader of the Minutemen, is one of these characters you meet very early on in the game. And what I thought was really interesting was Justin was telling me this story where much later in the game, someone came up to him dressed as a Minuteman and said, hey, I'm Preston Garvey. Can you help me out with this mission? And he goes, you're not Preston Garvey. I know Preston Garvey. And then the guy just goes, you're right. And just left. I was like, to me, that's just like remarkable sandbox design that could just happen at any point.
Oh, there's
anyone.
a number of just random events that you'll happen upon.
I think that's so funny.
I know the
really
random
cool
stuff in Fallout is great.
It struck a chord with me just because, like, I'm still, like I said, pretty early in the game, but I know Preston Garvey, and he's a pretty memorable dude. Like, I just decided to help him. I'm like his little band of like miscreants is the group that I first have assimilated into my settlement. So,
oh man, you're gonna want some of those guys to move out soon enough.
Well, yeah,
they
this
get
June,
really annoying.
We'll get to settlements.
Yeah.
I'm going to hop in for a quick one. My favorite place that I've stumbled upon is that somebody loves me very much, and the Lovecraft jokes are great. And there's a couple of, first off, Dunwich Borers is a great pun.
I'm so happy that's there.
That's so good, yeah. But Pickman's Gallery is, that ought to be so trite and cheesy. It's just like, oh, it's a spooky guy with a spooky gallery, but they make it work pretty well. I really like it. It's positively unnerving.
Very spooky place to go to.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil why. Go check it out when you get a chance. Pickman's Gallery, not far from the Old North Church. Take a look.
I'm just going to throw in, too, USS Constitution. Go visit it. It's a lot of fun there.
Tonally a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So my thing is actually pretty close to the Galleria. We found a tower where you can summon some death claws.
Oh,
man.
You're really fascinated by these death claws, Miranda.
I really like
You can just summon them? Just call them in?
Goat alligator dudes. Like, I actually don't know their actual anatomy, but that's what I've come up with. Is like, that's like a goat alligator. It's fine.
Okay.
Beautiful.
There are radiated lizards.
There's like obviously some sort of reptilian thing with horns.
Do you know alligators roar?
No, that's
alligators
terrifying.
roar. I've heard it in real life. Like, it's one of the most
It's a
freaky
different
things.
show.
They roar and they bark.
So is this the trivia section of the show?
So it's
No, it's not
absolutely,
about alligators.
so it has to be part of the death claw. But kind of close to the gallery, and I think it's also by a mental hospital.
Yeah, it's to the east.
Yeah.
Creeped out by mental hospitals.
There's like this tower, like there's this some abandoned shacks near it, and it's really empty. And you can get attacked by raiders. And then we climbed up the tower, and there's an alarm. You can activate it. So we're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And a legendary raider popped up, along with 2 death claws, which one was an alpha and the other was
Ooh,
just,
fun.
Did they start fighting?
Yeah, they did.
Awesome. I didn't know if, like, he had like trained them and they were all together. Or,
Dance puppets.
So the best thing was that because of like the structure of the tower, the Deathclaws couldn't get in, or they couldn't walk up the stairs to the tower. So we just keep like feeding in mercenaries and other things that would walk by, and they would just like start fighting the Deathclaws. We're like, go.
That's awesome. Deathclaw. That's rad.
Yeah. So that was kind of my thing for the week.
Yeah, I love that about Fallout is setting up things to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time I was running along the road and happened to see this pack of ghouls that just started chasing me. And I was like, oh, crap. And I was pretty low level. I was just kind of exploring. So I just start running. And I run right into a pack of like 6 raiders. And all of a sudden, I just like go right through them, right? I just go, see you later. And like all these ghouls just run right into them. And they just start like fighting. And then 3 super mutants come by at the same time. And a rad scorpion pops up. And I'm just sitting there in the woods looking at this going,
No, it's like playing Doom back in the day where you get monsters of a different type in the room and they'd all kill each other.
It's so good.
I love that stuff.